Hi, welcome everybody. It's Mike Newton down here at Lytham Golf Academy. We're just in the fitting studio here, and we're going to today discuss and look at and test a little bit of driver strikes across the club face. So we're going to maybe have a little look at how a heel strike sort of performs in terms of what that golf ball does, the speed it leaves the golf club, leaves the club face, the weight launches, the weight spin, side spin, and obviously distance it carries. And then we'll do the same for a slightly toe strike and see how maybe different these ball data is compared to those two different strikes on the club face, and possibly how a certain miss hit on the club face could actually help you gain some yards and actually keep your golf ball a little bit straighter. Okay, so I'm using my Ping G400 LST driver here, 8.5 degree loft, and just got this set quite sort of neutral, just a square club face setting here. So I'm going to hit some shots here. I'm going to start off with a toe strike if I can. So I'm going to try and hit some off that toe. We've got HMT GC2 set up here so we can measure strike very accurately from face on here. So we're going to have a look at those strike locations on the iPad here and see how that particular strike location creates a sort of curvature on that golf ball, if it does, or how that base of that golf ball performs through the air. So let's get this first one here. Try and hit a toe strike here. Okay, I've absolutely buttoned that straight as an arrow. Let's have a little look where that struck on the club face. Yeah, I've absolutely middled that. It's typical, that, isn't it? You know, you're trying to hit a miss hit and actually find the middle of the golf club. I'll try and hit the middle of the golf club and I miss hit it all day long, so that's an interesting one. Right, let's give this next one a go here. Okay, maybe I need to do that more often, try and hit the toe, actually hit the middle. So let's try hit the toe one again. Okay, that felt a bit more toe there. Just push that up the right hand side. Let's see where that one struck. Yeah, fractionally toe there, but not by much, to be honest. Yeah, and that one was a little bit low toe, that felt like. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to look at those three strikes there. I've hit a middle one. This could be quite interesting. Slightly gone ajar from maybe what I was going to do here, but I'm going to look at those three strikes. So I've hit one really central there, a little bit toe, and a little bit more, slightly more toe, but slightly low, and see how those three strikes have actually affected that golf ball. Okay, so we're going to have a little look. We'll look at those strikes first on those three shots. So there's the three strikes. So the first one was that one right in the middle, the faint white one. Second one was the strong white colour, and the last one was that red colour there. So you can see, you know, fairly sort of on that centre line. That red one was slightly lower of the three there, but, you know, middle, slight toe, a little bit more toe, slightly low. Okay, so let's see what happens to the ball here. So the first one here, which was the middle strike, ball speed 165, launched at 11, spun at just under 2,800, peaked at 36 yard, carry 279. Okay, jumped into that one which went slightly toe. Okay, again 165 ball, launched a little bit higher there. Okay, so it was sort of nearly 2 degrees more launch there, and spun slightly higher at 3,000 there, peaking at 43 yards. So there's a big difference of peak height there. Now I did leave that a little bit to the right, so you see how that started off a little bit more right, so 5 degrees to the right. So I've pushed that shot there. So obviously club face was a little bit open there. I've hit it a fraction toe. That's obviously increased a bit of loft, which has gained the launch there and has gained a little bit more spin, and obviously made the difference to that peak height there, and that carried out at 275. Last one there was the more toe and slightly low in the face. Actually got me 167 ball, but you can see the ball launch there, 8.6 has dropped significantly there, and that's from that slightly low strike. So you see how it's just a touch low, that red line through the golf club there. So I've hit it below the centre part of the golf club. That's less loft in that part of the golf club, and that's got that ball coming out a lot lower. Okay, spun at 2,800 and peaked at only 30. So I've got a 13 yard difference of my peak height between that strike there, okay, and then that one next to that is that red one there. So fractions of strikes up and down the golf club has given me a 13 yard difference of peak height. Yes, granted, a little bit of club face delivery there is helping with that as also, and that carried out at 277. Okay, so there's some toe strikes there for you. I'm going to try and obviously reverse that now and hit some heel strikes here and see if that does anything different to this golf ball, whether it's better or worse. We'll have a little look. So I'm just going to try and hit some heel strikes here. Okay, that was really heel, that. Okay, I'm just going to hit a couple more. Okay, and that was really heely. Just a little cut on there. That's going to find fairway, but definitely a heel strike on that one also. Okay, so let's look at those two heel strikes and see what's happened to that golf ball from those particular strikes. Right, okay, so let's have a look at those heel strikes there. So obviously 2 shots hit. I've got one there, the white one, which was the first one I hit there, which was just fractionally low, fractional heel. So some of you may look at that and think, oh, quite happy with that strike there, but it'd be interesting to see what that does to that golf ball compared to those slight toe strikes. And then obviously I've had quite a big miss there, so that's very sort of low heel. So again, really interesting one to look at, because this is the pattern I see so many golfers through coaching, through fitting sessions. We see these really low heel strikes, and we'll see exactly what happens to that golf ball in that particular strike. So let's just do that. So heel strikes at the top here. So we've got the first one we hit was this highlighted blue line here, so 160 ball speed. So you can compare that to these toe strikes here. There's a big drop off on ball speed, massive drop off. So, you know, good 5 to 7 mile an hour drop off on ball speed off the club face, and the swing speed was exactly the same here, around that 114, 115 mark club head speed. So launched at 10.5. Okay, it started a touch left, so 2.1 starting left there. Okay, so heel will always point a little bit more to the left, so generally you see those heel strikes start more left, and then obviously you'll see it have more right spin here now, so it's cutting a little bit more to the right. But look at the backspin there. You see how that backspin just shoots up a little bit, so 3171, so obviously a lot higher there. Peaks at just 31, drops off at 261 carry. So we're seeing straight away here a bigger drop off on that carry number. Then let's move to that really low heel one, so the red one here. So you can see quite a low heel. As I say, this is a pattern I see a lot with many golfers I get in the studio here. But again, look at that ball speed, 156, even bigger drop off here. So good 10 mile an hour less ball speed there, again with the same club head speed. So club head speed hasn't changed, ball speed's changed by 10 mile an hour. And this is one thing that gets me a little bit here, because so many guys want to know what the club head speed is, and they want to get that faster and faster and faster. But you can see here, strike makes a huge difference to ball speed, and this is the important bit. So it's no good creating 1-2 mile an hour extra club head speed if then you're moving that strike pattern away from the middle of the golf club, because we could see some potential drop-offs here. And obviously this is with a modern golf club here, this is with a very forgiving golf club, so but if you hit it in that really low heel, it's a killer. Okay, so you see what happens to the launch there, 7.4, massive drop-off on launch, starts even further left at 5 degrees and spins even more to the right, and look at the backspin, just goes through the roof there at 3,600. So very, very weak, and look what suffers at the end, 240 carry, massive drop off, a good 30, 35, nearly 40 yards difference of that carry distance alone. Okay guys, so there we go, some interesting numbers there on those strike patterns there. So probably what you see here, apart from that really low heel strike I got there wasn't a huge difference of strike there, was it? It's quite, what some of you may say, quite central there, but just fractionally toe to fractionally heel can give some very different ball speed numbers there, and also backspin numbers. So I think, again, this is important because there's a lot of low spin drivers out on the market. See, this is an LST, it's a low spin drive. I've got an X-Flex in a tour shaft, which is more of a low spinning shaft. Yeah, I can spin that ball at 3,600 purely because I've hit that really low heel. So strike plays a massive part, as many of us do know. So we've got, this is definitely something that I would track through a fitting session using HMT like we've done there, is look at that strike, where are we hitting it, how does that affect that particular player or you, because that certain golfer might hit a fade shot there. He would definitely benefit more hitting it slightly toe, definitely not heel, because if he hits that heel, if he's got that path working left, face a little bit open, then he hits heel, bye-bye to the right, it's going a long way to the right, and it's very, very weak. So that golfer would actually benefit striking it slightly more towards that toe section, because we know that toe section will start the ball a little bit more right, okay, but then it'll gear it more with draw spin. Okay, so basically what it'll do to a left to right golfer, slicing being around a right-hander, will actually start to reduce that cut spin. So it'll actually straighten the golfer up a little bit. okay, with that ball flight. So sometimes a miss hit can help a particular golfer. So again, this is so important where you've got to go through a fitting session here to see where exactly your strike pattern is over multiple shots, not just 3 or 4 like I've hit there, multiples of shot, and you start to see a pattern. And then a fitter would then look at that pattern, and I would say that's the first thing he should be looking at, is that strike location. Before he starts looking at head, shaft, loft, look at that strike location. Let's get that ball in the middle, then start to dial in the loft, then start to look at maybe shaft in there, then maybe start movable weights as the final probably process through that fitting event. So interesting one there, really, how that strike can move it fractionally toe to fractionally heel. You can see that heel part of the golf club isn't the greatest area to hit it. You know, it is a little bit more deader there. When you hit that slight toe section there, if you've got to think about it, this club face is going to be rotating round. As that club face rotates round, this toe is always traveling a touch quicker than what this heel is. Okay, so you can sneak a little bit more ball speed because the speed of that toe is always quicker than the heel section. Okay, so obviously we have a club head speed, but the toe is always traveling a little bit quicker than that heel. So, and obviously then what it does with that spin in terms of just pulls it off a little bit, creates a little bit of draw. We all know that's a good scenario for trying to get some more yards out of your tee shots. Okay, right, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you found this video interesting, then looking at strike a little bit more in depth. Maybe, you know, if you haven't got access to a launch monitor, a little bit of foot spray on your driver head here, and see where you are striking it. It's a test that's worth doing on the driving range here. See where you're striking it, see if you can move it, and if you do move it, maybe to that toe section possibly, or away from that heel, see what happens to that ball flight. Are you getting some extra yards? Is it straighter? Does it feel stronger? You know, let me know your thoughts. If you do that test, just comment down below and let me know your thoughts. I'll be really interested to see how you guys get on with that. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Obviously, appreciate watching the videos. Do hit that subscribe button, much appreciated, and that bell icon, so any videos that I post, you'll be the first ones to be able to watch it. Follow my social media platforms, all the links are in the description down below, and hopefully I'll catch up with you all very soon.